Welcome to Cambridge.
케임브리지에 요우코소.
Malayo nonse takulanda no.
We have flood, we have earthquake, we have tsunami, we have forest fire, we have landslide and everything.
The costs of these disasters are huge on the government.
My country, Mozambique, is multiple risk vulnerability. And we annually have losses about 1.1% for our GDP.
The disaster happens, so it takes like up to 4 or 5 months before we get the assistance. But what we need is that to address the needs of the people being affected, the funds needs to be there as soon as possible.
Disaster risk financing is important for St. Lucia because it allows us to actually look at a menu of options to prepare and to respond to a disaster immediately.
I think 1 week in Cambridge give me a fundamental knowledge about disaster risk financing and also some very useful case study from other countries in the world.
All countries facing the same disasters, but their way to solve it differently and by having sharing information among us. So that's really benefit us.
Disaster risk financing is important because otherwise it will relate to or it will mean the diversion of funds from other sectoral and economic social sectors.
Disaster risk finance helps us to put in place the mechanism to manage the risk as posed by disasters, to ensure that we take care of our government needs, our small enterprises, our poor and vulnerable.
Key takeaways are the importance of having clarity around who is responsible for risks and for managing them, understanding the potential cost that could be incurred and the quantifying the impact on budgets.
This was a very educative program for me because we have resource gap and there are instruments available, there are tools available, so that can be used for supplementing the resource gap of our country.
The way the program was organized, the methodology, experiential learning method, backed by a very strong technical inputs, that is very helpful for me to carry out my job.
There are a lot of information, a lot of data available, but you have to contextualize it, make it relevant for your situation.
Coming here, meeting different people from different countries, different backgrounds, face different kinds of disasters, but coming together and sitting down, sharing experiences, brings to the fore a lot of things.
So the key takeaway for me is really learning strategies how to negotiate with key stakeholders.
And I think a lot of great partnerships would come out of this.
There are many things that I have learned during this week in disaster risk financing, but the most useful thing is the risk transfer mechanism that I have learned here and also the interaction with the different countries' representatives.
Discussions with people facing disasters is absolutely key and crucial in such a setting. To exchange experiences, what went well in one country, what went wrong, what we can do better in another, and when we pair all those knowledge together, we come to better outcomes.
The most important one is how we build our own national disaster financing strategy to involve all parties in my country.
This is one of the best, if not the best, courses that I've ever attended in my professional career.